Welcome back, everybody, to Champions League. We've got a fun matchup tonight. I'm your caster, Shadow Dweller. Joined alongside me is the lovely Herschel. Herschel, welcome in. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling excited. Big matchup. Excited to see Overlook play again. I've been able to cast one of their preseason games. Excited to see Lotus for the first time tonight, for me at least. Yeah, big matchup, Shadow.
Yeah, definitely a big matchup here. And I mean, the prediction, the rankings committee, we can go over how they kind of evaluated this matchup. Just a reminder, guys, you can go to the predictions channel. There is a thread with the week one predictions. I'm gonna be honest here, it's not looking too good for the side of Lotus. It's 5-0 favoring Overlooked, with only two of those predictions giving Lotus a game. Now, we do have some interesting news here. Uh, these are maybe not the rosters we'd expect, Herschel. Herschel, what do you know about who's going to be playing tonight?
From what I've heard, the Lotus starting roster is going to be Yubo, Vox, and Jax. And then for Overlooked, it should be Lai, Fluffy, and Santal. So Guapo and Sugar, not not in the starting roster tonight. Not sure why, Shadow.
Scheduling comes up. Sometimes teams have to schedule without the
Absolutely.
players they want to schedule with. Uh, Something like that. Uh, but I hear that the players are ready to go. So we will get into this one. I need to turn on my game audio. But as I get into this, Harshal, take it away.
Absolutely. Early demolition from Santal, and Vox plays the ball across the center. Is there no pressure really early on? But Fluffy has the clear now, and with the up with air dribble reset, no follow up from him. Vox with a big booming clear to put some pressure on. And now early shot, no good. Lydri clears it away, but the pressure is still there from Lotus. Now, Vox puts it. There's the ball is looming very dangerously, and there's no follow-up. Santal's able to get it before anyone from the Overlook side, or from the Lotus side, is able to put that shot on target.
Yeah, and maybe a bit more fortunate for them. But it's definitely interesting considering the starting. I mean, his starter per side is missing. Definitely interesting. Or maybe it's a tactical switch up. We never know. But Fluffy's going to look to slot this one. Not going to be able to. Sansa quickly with the follow up. Double tap looming. And Lidery cleans it up. As this will be overlooked starting out 1-0.
Yeah, two very close shots off the top of the crossbar, and then just Lydri there to clean it all up. Great communication from Overlooked, great team play, not getting in each other's way. No one jumped too early. They all took a shot. You know, the first two didn't go in, and the third one cleaned it up. Now Lydri with another shot. Fluffy with two demos. Vox is on the field alone, is able to handle it. Jax takes the ball out of the corner, and Team Lotus just reset to bring this before bringing this one back up.
Yeah, and I mean, this is got to be some early nerves out of the teams. But, oh no. I missed a double tap that probably would have been a goal. Now, obviously, for Overlook, there's not really a specific player to watch. They work as one cohesive unit, and that's what I'm going to look for out of them. Getting the passing plays going, we expect the physicality and aggression like we're seeing here, and the passing plays, of course, as that will be Overlook doubling their lead.
Amazing pass. Amazing find from Santal. Fluffy just, I mean, that kind of pass opens up the entire field. Vox, he may have been ready for the first shot, but that pass makes it so that he just cannot defend there. A lot of demos out from Overlooked early on. I expect that to continue. They're a very physical team. They really put the pressure on as Lydri. Putting the pressure on here. No double tap right there. Yeah, they're a very physical team. Expect a lot of demos from them and expect them to keep the pressure up.
Oh,
And the pressure continues. I mean, Fluffy with the shot into the top corner, bar down.
Jesus.
Great work
I just had
from
to
the
let
Overlook
that
side.
one Yeah, I just had to let that one sink in for a moment. What a bounce. Uh, check his bank account. He might have been wiring some money to the crossbar for that one to go in. But this is the overlooked we know and expect as Sansa gets a beautiful save. And now with Yubo needing to take control here, I mean, this is a guy who has a long history of success in Champions League. And so you definitely would expect him to put together a good roster, but I mean, through the preseason, the roster just kind of came out flat-footed. Now, it is a long season, so you got to keep that in mind. These teams have plenty of time to grow together. And Harshal, I mean, obviously, molding and meshing can be really tough right at the start. What do you try to do to make sure you work with people?
Communicate. I think communication is the biggest thing. You need to be able, your teammates need to know what you're going to do. I mean, we see a ton of double commits early on in the season from all sides. I see quite a few every single game, couple triple commits here and there. Those kind of things need to be, as we see a double commit right there from the side of Team Lotus, those kind of issues need to be worked out, and Fluffy's going to work out another goal for Overlooked. But communication is incredibly important, and being able to talk with your team about your issues and make sure you guys can work off each other instead of doing the same thing at the same time is incredibly important.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, and we just see as the double commit. I mean, you were just talking about the communication, Harshal, and immediately a double commit that leads straight to a goal. Who knows? Is this one gonna be pinched down? A big pinch to the back claw, but no follow-up's gonna come through. But with a minute and 20 left, and just kind of with how this team has gone, this game, it feels like a formality, but Jax, hold on a second, opens the scoring.
Yeah, I think that's a kind of a great pass moment from Santel. Didn't see any of those in the chat, but if someone wanted to be talked to, that could be said. Just unfortunate situation, you know, mistakes happen, and Vox is there to punish. Or Jax is there to punish. My apologies.
All good. But they're going to need a lot more if they're going to turn this game one around. But definitely getting that first goal on the board is always good. Kind of shakes the nerves a little bit, even if you're already losing in that game. But we're just kind of seeing that they're getting outsped. They're getting outmaneuvered. And that's kind of the thing here. I mean, you got to keep in mind the team comps. It is that two of the players on Overlooked are higher ranked than two of the players on Lotus. And I mean, that's where, hey, you really need Vox to step up as the high rank, but we just haven't seen much of that here. And we know how good of a player Vox is, so to see him have a quiet game like this is quite the surprise. But you know who hasn't had a quiet game is this entire Overlooked roster.
Yeah, I mean, 5 goals, just putting the hammer to Team Lotus. Team Lotus are really, they maybe were out of their own half, putting some pressure on for the first minute of the game, and since then, it's been all Overlooked, just shot after shot, goal after goal. And Team Lotus really haven't had the chemistry to just keep the rotations up and put pressure on, and Overlooked have really just been outclassing them this entire game.
I gotta agree with you there, and Overlooked will officially take game one, as this one is over. But Harshal, I mean, we're going into game two. What are you really looking at to change here in terms of Lotus turning this around?
I think really they've got to speed it up and they've got to play together. There needs to be more communication, less double commits, as you know, is always going to be an issue, but they really need to minimize those, because when you have a double commit like that, you're taking a player out of the game. It becomes a 2v3 for a quick second because your two players are doing the same thing. One of your teammates is going to beat them. And that can't happen. You can't be playing 2v3 a decent bit of the time because it's going to put you at a significant disadvantage. And Overlooked really, really took advantage of that. I mean, Fluffy with a hat trick, Lydrew scoring 2 of his own. So even though the Lotus defense was able to stop some of the overlooked attacks, I mean, as the game goes on, it just really they couldn't handle it. Now the teams load in for game number 2. And
my microphone wouldn't unmute. This is great. Guys, real quick, shout out to Yubo on creating a new word, no letting. Please go put that in the quotes channel and just quote it as from Yubo. So, I mean, Yubo is a special member here in Champions League, both on and off the pitch. As you know, he's a part of the owners committee. And he does some questionable things, definitely has been quoted a lot, and no letting is going to be the most recent one. And speaking of things happening recently, these bumps and demos happened in the last game, and they're going to be returning here in full force, as this is just the power of that overlooked team is part, or at least part of it is the physicality, and Vox just puts this one high.
Yeah, I mean, decent shot opportunity. The overlooked players were in that quite awkward, and just couldn't really get it on target. Now that shot is on target from Jax, but easy save for Fluffy, and now he has the chance to put some pressure on. Beats Yubo. Off the back wall, Santol cannot get the shot on target. A little awkward there. Now Vox with a counter. 50s with Lydrew. Yubo up. Puts it across the center. Is there someone? No. Santol with a clear. Vox puts it with the second. Lydrew with the last second save. Team Lotus, a lot of pressure here in this second minute of game number 2. 3:30 left on the clock, Shadow.
Yeah, and I will say, right now, Overlooked and Lotus come from the division. Oh God, I'm not remembering the division name now. I am uncultured. They come from the division Poseidon. And Poseidon has 3 teams that have been regarded as potential top teams in Overlooked, Bloom, and Spacebound Cowboys. And so that's the thing is for Overlooked and Lotus, it doesn't just matter about winning. The game differential is going to be important because I think that division is going to be tightly contested, but also obviously, of course, the win is absolutely huge. And as we're seeing, it's a much better game out of Lotus. More what we expect from this team, as it's been lacking offense a little bit, but it also has had a lot of good defense. And now we're starting to see them find their groove offensively. Jax, unfortunately, going to go under the ball, though, as Vox just can't really control this one out of the corner. And Jax is going to have to pop this mid for Vox, but it's not going to come through.
Yeah, this game has been heavily contested in the midfield. A lot of shots from Lotus, I will say. But the Overlook side defense has been incredibly solid. There's been plenty of times where I've seen strong shots, and in my head I'm thinking, oh, this may be a goal for Team Lotus, and there's just an Overlook player back to make a simple save. And here, Fluffy, looking to not do what he just did, but Yubo gets a free touch now. Lydrew is beat to the ball by Vox. There's a chance for some pressure, but Fluffy beats the Team Lotus member to the ball. Yep.
And as this one goes on, Herschel, I mean, I think we got the turnaround you wanted to see. You talked about communication, and Lotus seemed to be communicating a lot better. I'm sure it's putting a smile on your face right now. But the problem is they still just can't get that offense going. What do you need to see here to maybe produce a goal?
Just a little bit better finishing, honestly, and that might be a great finish for Jax.
Marshall, you must be a 4-leaf clover, my man, because just as you start talking about it, you will it into existence. And it's now 1-0 to Lotus. Hold on a second. And with 1 minute left, Herschel, what do they need to do oh my goodness, to close this out?
Keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they haven't given up a goal this game. and they've been playing extremely solid defense through the fact that they've been putting pressure on Overlook this entire match. They've been the one in the blue half. They've been aggressing this whole time, and Overlook really haven't put too many shots up as they get ready for another attack. Fluffy, that's not the way to do it. Santel puts a shot on net, no bump from Fluffy, and Jax is able to clear it. Now, Yubo with 25 seconds left on the clock. Lotus just need to put together one attack, one defense, and they can have it. Jax plays it off to the corner.
Yeah, and with 10 seconds left, and this one feels like it's done, barring a miracle. But a double commit could kill you, but that pinch should keep it relatively safe. Vox lets this drop, and Lotus have game 2. I also do have an anonymous tip from a chat member named Funky that Jax and Santel have been playing twos together, and there was some trash talk between them. So, hey, that just means this match is worth a little bit more. And officially, 3 members of the rankings committee, including myself, are now wrong, as Lotus have taken a game. We also do have an official substitute, but this will be Guapo coming in for Santel. Unfortunately, there is a current bug in the game that doesn't let people join in the games in the post-game lobby. But as we get ready to go, how do you think this changes things with Guapo subbing in?
I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't say Overlooks have been playing bad. I'm surprised that the sub has come in. Maybe, I mean, Guapo is the starter, I believe, so maybe they just want a bit more comfort. But this could end up hurting Team Overlook, as they've had 2 games with Santel, and they've been playing pretty solidly. They just let in one goal that was well worked from Lotus late in that game, as Guapo puts the ball into the Lotus half. But I'm surprised that this comes. Maybe Guapo just made himself available. You know, he wasn't able to come for the first 2 games, and this was always the plan. But if this is a tactical switch, I would say it's a little too ambitious, a little too early, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I will say, all these guys do get a ton of games in together, but what I'm shocked about is Light is normally the substitute for this roster. So shocking to see him play. Maybe also guys have work. I found out that's why Sugar's not here, but Vox has gotta go to work, and he does, as he will snipe it right out of the corner. A beautiful goal from him, and this is more what we expect from a player of his caliber.
Yeah, great shot from Vox. I mean, you see the double commit that leaves the goal open. Both Lai and Fluffy go for that first shot, and then the net's completely open. Guapo's not back, and he doesn't really have to be. He's not supposed to, and that is very unfortunate. That's an own goal that Lotus will definitely want to have back.
Chat, you know what to do. Clip it and put it in the League Match Clips channel. We have another Champions League own goal, and dang it, come on guys, we're just trying to get through 1 week without own goals. We saw in the Reapers series, there wasn't an own goal, but there was one of the worst goal steal attempts, as it was completely saved. We saw some own goals last night. I mean, it's Champions League. There's always an own goal going on, but I mean, you just got to now mentally recover. And I think too, I think you're right. Now, here's the thing about Guapo. Guapo and Vox were teammates last season, and they finished top 3. And the thing is, Guapo is a very aggressive player, and when he has the right teammates that can play around him, it's absolutely beautiful out of him. So this is a player you should fear, but that's another one is Vox, as he will get the shot, and he's going to still be lurking here. Pass to the middle to the pre-jump, not going to work out, as it will finally be sent down.
Yeah, amazing save by Fluffy. I thought that was for sure going in. And then, I mean, great attempt. I appreciate that from Lotus, that air dribble pass. I think that's exactly the confidence that you want to see from a team that had a rough game one with a lot of double commits, and they're willing to communicate here. They're playing incredibly well. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing as Jax attempts for the air dribble, doesn't get the touch he wants, and Fluffy just gets a simple clear. Now, Yubo puts it across the field dangerously in front of Fluffy, but Vox has the 50. Now, Lydri, ball goes into the corner. Guapo is up, does not get the movement off the ceiling that he wants. And the ball just falls sort of harmlessly into that Lotus corner as we reset for another play.
Yeah, and this one bouncing through, you got to be careful of it for sure. But Jax will and not be able to really get around this one. And this is the thing, is this has looked entirely different from game one, where it was a 5-1 score line. Oh, excuse me, acid reflux. But game one was a 5-1 score line. This has looked anything but that in games 2 and 3, as it was 1-0 and now 1-1. And I feel like at the rate we're going at, we're going to have this decided by a 2-1 score line, as members are racing back for Lotus. And you see Lydri get removed from the pitch by force. Vox trying to hunt it down, going to grab that corner, or that middle, excuse me. Fluffy has to make a touch out, and he does, but Jax is going to pop it up high for Yubo. This man has some mechanics to him. What can he do? Looks for the air dribble, double tap, not going to be able to get it, but this one's a pass across the middle, and Fluffy has to make a touch, and he does, as it will be blocked away. And Overlook survived the onslaught to see the final minutes. The problem is, though, they haven't found a way through yet. They've only found it through the help of their opponents, but a double commit here could spell danger. 48 seconds left to go, and these teams are reeling.
Yeah, incredibly awkward moment from the two Overlook players. Yubo looking for a double, cannot find it, but Vox here with a shot, drops it into the bottom corner. Go to Lotus.
A great job by the boys. They've come through, and everyone was doubting them after the preseason, but they are striking back in full force. They are 34 seconds away from going up 2-1 on Lotus and pushing this to a potential game 5, as Jax will clear this out through the air. Yubo has to make a touch, and he does. Vox to the back wall. We know this man can cook, but his former teammate in Lydri shuts it down. Lyd has to get a pass down, but Vox caught a piece of Fluffy, and that should be it. He caught him on the backside. Yubo finish. Good!
What a turnaround. What a turnaround from Lotus. I mean, that game one, I've only casted 3-0 Shadow until tonight, and I was expecting to cast another 3-0 and be home early, and Team Lotus have completely turned this series on their head. I mean, their defense is incredible. They have only given up 1 goal in the past 2 games. It's a crazy turnaround, and they're playing incredibly well. Vox is scoring, Yubo's scoring, Jax is scoring, 1 time on his own net, but that's okay. You know, I mean, they're all playing incredibly well, and it's great to see.
I think that's the other thing you gotta keep in mind, Harshal. Overlooked have not legitimately scored a goal in 10 minutes of gameplay. Let that sink in. Yes, the scoreboard says 1 here, but that was off a complete own goal. That was not of their own volition. And so, I mean, Overlooked, if you don't score here, we just saw it in the background of the scoreboard. I mean, if you're Overlooked, you're starting to sweat. No substitutions are going to come through this time. I think you're right on the call that Santil had to go. But, I mean, Harshal, they've been shut out for 10 minutes. How do they bring this back?
I mean, they need to get some offense, because the way the games have been going, the last 2 games have been Team Lotus being the one to put on the pressure, and that was not the case in Game 1. In Game 1, it was overlooked, goal. I think that was 4, maybe 5 times, not sure, but 5 times, 5 goals in that Game 1. And they really haven't been in the attacking half for most of these last 2 games. It's been Team Lotus putting on the pressure. Saw Fluffy with 4 saves that last game because they had to. they couldn't get the ball out of their own half. They couldn't put pressure on the Team Lotus defense. And I mean, that needs to change.
It really does need to change. Oh, Jax. Jax, no. Jax, you're not in the RLCS on LAN. He was trying to pull a moist as he was going off the opposite ceiling. But the passing play doesn't come through. But maybe that's just a key sign to how confident this team feels. But will overconfidence be their hubris? We gotta wait and find out, but this passing play is gonna come through and it'll work out as Jack sinks it home.
I mean, you could just feel it. You could just feel that pass coming. Look, Yubo just plays a beautiful ball, and Guapo, I mean, he's got to try something, and, you know, it's so hard to defend those kind of plays. Just a great shot right there, and I mean, Lotus continuing their domination. Now, Fluffy, early shot, and they finally, Overlooked finally are back on the scoreboard after the last 10.5 minutes.
Arshel, I know you're new to casting. You just did the infamous caster curse. I mean, just as you were saying, they're back to dominating. They get scored on. And finally, after 10.5 minutes, Overlooked have scored a goal, at least legitimately. But the thing is, they're getting scored on right back as Vox works his magic. And now they're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I mean, the ball just gets played over Guapo and Light's head before they can really even react. I mean, that's tough. That's a great play by Vox. Should they have a touch?
Sorry.
Ralph is not happy in the chat. Yeah. I see that as well, yeah.
Shout out, Ralph. He is the owner of Overlooked Entertainment. And also keep that in mind that Overlooked Entertainment are one of our partnered esports organizations here at Champions League. You can find out more about them in the partner self-promo section of the Discord, or they have a channel all about them. You can go join their Discord, get acclimated in the community, and who knows, maybe you can become a part of something bigger. Fluffy trying to make this one look a little better, but it's not going to be able to go. Yubo awkward in the net, but Guapo just can't get a touch on it. And I will say, oh yeah! Fluffy will find the goal home like a heat-seeking missile, and this is exactly what you expect to see. The captain comes through with a double tap pass into the bump, and it looks beautiful as this game is tied.
Yeah, not the, oh, Lidry finds an open net off the kickoff. I mean, to speak a little bit on that last goal, I mean, it's not the sexiest goal, you know, very awkward from both teams. There was a lot of Lotus players jumping around, just could not get onto the ball. And then here on the kickoff, they just, you know, get beat, the ball's set up, Lidry's ready for it, puts it in the back of the net. Overlooked have the lead again, and potentially we could see a game 5. Now it's 3 minutes in, there's still so much time. I mean, this game has become significantly more offensive than the last two, but it's on the cards right now if the storyline stays the way it is.
Yeah, and in this one, I mean, Overlooked have come storming back. I will also say, Ralph, this especially means a lot to him, as unfortunately the RLCS run did not go their way today. That is right. Overlooked do have an RLCS team in the SAM region that you should check out for their LCQ run, but he does not want to see another loss here tonight. And this is definitely looking a lot better out of his team, but they're not out of the woods yet, as here comes Vox. Lidry gonna shut it down. Lidry looking for a double tap, is just a bit too high, as it will be cleared out. And Herschel, there's 2.5 minutes gone by the wayside, and Lotus find themselves on the back foot. What do they need to do?
I mean, they just need to keep doing what they're doing right now. This is how they play. Vox, early shot. Jax misses the open net. He very easily could have tapped that in had he made a contact and had a decent shot. But Lotus have been liking the style where they really have to fight for the goals. It's a defensive battle, and 1 or 2 goals are scored in the game. And that comes from them putting a ton of pressure on Overlook. As Guapo puts some pressure on Jax, and Lidry finds the back of the nets. Way to open up for Overlooked. I talked about the demos in game 1, and they're putting it to use in this game number 4.
Absolutely love to see it. And I mean, as this one goes on, you gotta wonder what's going through the head of Lotus, as this one is definitely one that has gone their way so far, but we're finally seeing that pushback from the side of Overlooked. And I mean, 2 goals is not insurmountable, but they started this game off strong, but they just haven't really been able to finish. And again, these are two teams that these teams are power ranked at 5th and 12th. So the fact that Lotus has 2 games is absolutely phenomenal and just goes to show the strength of the team, especially against an agreed upon top 5 team. Who knows? Maybe Overlooked may slide in the rankings by the end of this, but you can start to hear it. The crowd of Champions Field is warming up and getting ready, as with 38 seconds left to go, Lotus can't even buy a goal here. This one to the back wall, Vox follow through, and he's got it, and suddenly they're within 1.
That's the type of goal that Lotus have been scoring all series long, where they keep the pressure going, where they make these Overlooked players uncomfortable, and then eventually they have a double commit, as we saw, and that just completely opens the defense up. That net is wide open for the tap in. Now, Fluffy up, beats 1. Can he drop it down past Yubo? No. Great save. Lidry, 50. And Team Lotus have a chance here to keep the pressure on. Guapo clears, and with the demo, that's great for Overlooked in this last 13 seconds left. Fluffy brings it towards the net. Can Jack save it? Off the line. Vox pops it into the corner. Great defense right there. There's very little time. Yubo, can he get a last-minute shot off? 1 second left. Fluffy's going to put it into the bottom corner, and Overlooked send us to game number 5, Shadow.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a good one. Game 5. Nobody thought we'd get here, but here we are. Harshal, what's the key?
I think the key for Overlooked is they want a high-scoring game. They want, both teams to make mistakes. They want a fast-paced game. And for Lotus, they want to play that slow matchup. They want to keep the pressure on. They want to keep that ball in the Overlooked half, where they can really work through the Overlooked defense and break them down.
Yeah, and Harshal, as we get ready to go, we're going to the most historic pitch in the game as we get ready to go to Champions Field. Both of these teams have fought oh so hard to get here, and it's an early division rivalry matchup here, and it's so important for the season. But now you play under the lights of Champions Field. Will you answer the call? Let's find out. Game 5 is underway.
Yes, sir. An early chance for Fluffy off the top of the crossbar. Now Vox, great shot with saving. Santo's actually back in the matchup. I didn't even realize this. And it seems like Guapo's still in, so it's Lyde who has been subbed out. And Guapo finds a shot under and between 2 Team Lotus players. That is an incredible finish from the Overlooked player.
Oh no. Not what you want to see. An own goal in game 5. Ladies and gentlemen, at this rate, we're going to have to rebrand to Own Goal League or Colorblind League or something like that, because these teams have no clue what side to shoot on. But Santel and Guapo almost combined for an absolutely beautiful goal, but it's not going to be able to come through here as Guapo's going to go to the back wall. Vox is taking out Fluffy on the backside, and Vox will get there back in time. Santel following it up, looking for the pass to the middle. Fluffy coming through, but no, he came thundering down the lane, and the door was slammed in his face. But now with the follow through, it will be Voxus not going to work out. And here, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta be careful. It is a 1-0 deficit, but you cannot get over ambitious or you may be punished. Also, this is the full strength of Overlook's roster coming out here. Without Light on the pitch, he is normally the sub and the lowest rated player on the team. So this is Overlooked at full strength, and they look damn good doing it as Guapo will score their second.
Number 2 for Guapo on the game, and you can really see the pressure getting to the Lotus players. I've seen so many double commits from that squad. And it just seems like that this game 5 is really getting in their heads. They can feel the pressure, and Overlooked, I mean, it seems like they've been here before. It seems like they know what to do. They're bringing out the demos as they do, and it's really doing wonders for their offense as Guapo misses the ball there, but Jax trying to bring something back for Lotus. Vox off the back wall, no follow-up. Fluffy with the clear. Now Santel brings it up, sets it up for another overly attack. Jax with the clear, and he has space, but no boost to put a shot up. Can he put it up for Vox? Guapo beats him to it, and Yubo tries to reset it, but the chance for Lotus is gone. Now, Sandal puts it in the corner. Back flip from Guapo. Fluffy with a follow-up. Goal! And this one is turning into domination very, very quickly, Shadow.
Oh, man. We thought that it may be Lotus's time when they shut out Overlooked for 10 minutes of gameplay. 10 and a half, excuse me. That's got to be one of the longest scoring droughts in Champions League history. I think the record is 13 minutes of a scoring drought. But as this one goes on, we got to see how this plays out. As Yubo going to pop this up, Vox follow through. No, what a beautiful save! Santel not giving them anything here. As Game 5 morale, that one is an absolute killer along with this score line.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, this is the kind of game that Overlooked like. You know, they like the high scoring matchups. They like just the mistakes from both sides, and you know they haven't been making very many. Their defense has been solid. Yubo cannot get it past that final man. I mean, the defense of Overlooked is amazing. You know, I said that the pressure on them favors Overlooked. You know, when Overlooked are forced to make saves, it's much harder for them, but they can make the save as Guapo puts a shot up and is cleared by Vox. Now, can Lotus bring it back with a minute 30 left? Set up by Yubo. Can Jax get there? No! Misses the ball, and time ticks away as Fluffy brings the ball into the Lotus half. Now, whiff and off the bar. Oh no. That's very unfortunate. That would have definitely sealed the game, Shadow, if it hasn't been already.
Yeah, but this could offer an opportunity. Vox, no. Vox completely missed it wide, and that was a free open net, about as free as it gets. And unfortunately, this one, I mean, there's still time, and that's how you do it, is making plays as a team, and Lotus are within 2.
Yes, I mean, it's been rough for Lotus, but that's a great demo by Yubo to just open up the goal. No defender. Yeah, Guapo, you know, has thoughts on that one. And Fluffy gets the demo right back. 40 seconds left for Lotus to potentially get 2 more. I mean, they've finally got a goal, finally got on the score sheet this game. Hopefully that gives them some momentum as great bump from Vox, and Yubo has another open net to put the ball into.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just not quite over. I thought it would be, but Vox almost put home a third. Unfortunately, couldn't get it to go. Santel air dribble through now. 25 seconds left, and if you're Lotus, you gotta go. Vox going to put this to the sidewall. He will pop this high as this one is going to be going to the overlooked half of the field. And can someone get there? Jax can, but it's not where he wants it to go. Popping up high. Santal, only one to answer it. Yubo got to make a touch here, and it's got to be a good one. And it's not good enough as Fluffy throws it to the back wall. Guapo follow through is good for a goal. And Overlooked have taken the series.
And what a series that was. I mean, the second you feel like the series is going one way, I mean, after that game one, where it was just overlooked domination, it really felt like there was no way for Lotus to go forward. And then games 2 and 3, I mean, their defense was incredible. Their offense was nonstop. They were constantly putting the pressure on Overlooked. It was great, and you felt like that game 4 had to go their way, and then Overlooked just come back and win that one. And then in this game number 5, I mean, we see it again. We Overlooked get 3 early goals. You think Lotus are down and out. They score 2 to bring it back, make the game so much more exciting, make that game 5, make us really believe Vox almost had the tying shot. And then Overlooked, just play some great defense for that last 30 seconds and put one home to really seal the series and put a bow on everything.
Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna wait to see if we have interviews, but what a great job by the side of Overlook to really bring it back after being in quite the rough position. Uh, I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. I was stressed for this one. I thought they may not be able to bring it back, but Harshal, what player was really your MVP of this game?
I mean, I think it was Fluffy with the game 1 hat trick and then making tons and tons of saves even when they were down and out in those second and third games. When they were forced to play defense, he was always on the line making those goal line saves that I thought were going in. And then in those last 2 games, he just brought the scoring back for Overlooked and played extremely well all series long. Very impressive series from him.
Gotta agree with you there, but we do have some guys ready for some interviews. Here with us, we have Fluffy, Lied, and Ralph. And guys, how you feeling after taking that Game 5 win?
Pretty good, pretty good. I was kind of just spectating, but listening to these guys giggling in voice chat was definitely an uplifting mood.
Yeah. Guys, my screenshots are out of date. Leave me alone about it showing the 5-man rosters. I'm sorry that I'm selling. Chat's mocking me right now. But guys,
Nice.
Obviously, I mean, you guys went almost 10, well, you did. You guys went 10 and a half minutes without scoring a single goal of your own volition, at least. We don't count the own goal. What did you guys really have to do to shift the mental and turn around after hitting such a big roadblock?
I know, at least for me personally, I didn't really think about it. Honestly, I didn't even notice. We were just playing our game and chilling. So this is me personally though. But
Fluffy might have noticed.
Oh my god, this guy's saying he was shaking with his controller in his hands. What do you mean you weren't thinking about
from
shit?
adrenaline, the first game,
Sorry, my
buddy.
friend. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but guys, I gotta ask about the roster decisions. I mean, you guys are swapping players around a little bit. I mean, at the end of the day, it worked out. But what was the thought process behind that?
Well, at first, Guapo was taking the Browns to the Super Bowl, so bro was not here to be in game 1. So, part of our strength though is we all are able to field with each other however we want, so it didn't really matter that much. And then when Guapo got back, obviously we brought him in just because, well, Guapo's kind of our guy. We like Guapo.
Guapo's our
And
anchor.
then, yes, Guapo's definitely our anchor. And yeah, just I was still a little shaky, letting the nerves get to me, so I put Santo back in for game 5, and it worked out. Kind of just good decisions all around.
Fair enough. Now,
Ev-
Ralph, we saw you in the chat. I will read it for your team, who at least should
no.
not have been reading the chat. This was during the game 4. Overlooked, lock the F in. We do not want to go out again. We got knocked out in top 16 for RLCS Sam. Now lock the F in. Finally, there we go. Guys, do you think those words of encouragement really hit you hard?
I felt it. I felt it from
Yeah,
my office.
I think
Yeah,
that's the
could feel
funniest
his
thing I've read
presence.
all day.
Yeah, I think
Ralph,
I
we
think we
love
might
you.
have just felt it in our souls. Santo's saying he felt it in his toes. I felt it personally in in my soul.
Yeah.
So definitely, I feel like it definitely helped. Soul or not soul. Ralph is scary guy.
Ralph got
Uh,
the aura to him.
Shivers
Ralph's
were
not
timbered.
scary. Ralph just doesn't want to lose 2 times in one day.
Yeah,
Okay.
guys, come on, you can't let your franchise owner down. That's how you get kicked from the team. Ralph, I gotta
Yeah,
ask
why?
you, because you're the first franchise owner to be in here. How do you feel with this roster?
Oh god.
I mean, I feel like they have potential here to, win the whole season. But, I mean, after going to Game 5, they got things to work on. Because Game 5 is not...
It'd help
Game
if our
5
coach
is
showed
not
up,
what
Ralph.
Game 5
Whoa,
is
whoa,
not what we...
whoa, whoa. Okay, let's not start the team fighting here in here. Not on broadcast. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the desk. Congratulations on your win. Make sure to take care and have a great night. We'll put you guys
Thank you
in the
as well.
fighting room. Good luck. Okay, now that we've set up that war zone down there, Light immediately left. He oh my. Almost had a fight break out. Not again. But I mean, Herschel, we've seen a lot of good series here this week. We've got a couple more. Which of these final matches are you most excited for? I think it's got to be Most Hated versus Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Like that's a top 5 matchup right there. Nothing more exciting than seeing, having a week build up where we've seen a bunch of great matchups, just had a great one between Overlooked and Lotus, and it's really going to cap the week off with an absolute banger of a series. I mean, Most Hated have been playing incredibly in their preseason. Thunderbolts trying to take them down. So I'm super excited for that one for sure, Shadow.
Yeah, and just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, of when those matches are coming up. So Saturday at 9:30 p.m. EST will be Tier 1 versus Galactic. We have Most Hated versus Thunderbolts at Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern to round out the week. It'll be Hydra versus HSA. Definitely some fun matchups here, and I mean, I wouldn't say we've seen necessarily any upsets so far this week. We've almost had 2 with Lotus and Big Dub Gaming. But, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be raiding out as always. Please make sure to stick around for the raid. Helps get the name of Champions League out there. Helps show support to other people in the community. But thank you so much for everyone for joining us here tonight at Champions League. Congratulations to Overlooked Entertainment on their win. And we will see you all tomorrow.
Peace.